Explain to me how Tennessee is going to stop Alabama. I just don't. I'm not seeing it. Tennessee's defense has been a letdown this year. We questioned the offense with Nico going to UCLA and Joey Aguilar coming in. The offense hasn't been the problem. Hell, it's saving their ass. One of the biggest rivalries that we have in all of college football is Alabama and Tennessee. And we know when we get through the middle of October that it's coming, and this year it is no different, and there is a lot on the line. Former Michigan quarterback David Cohn, who like myself is married to an Alabama fan. Blaine Crain, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver. He's a good dude. David.
You have to marry a Tennessee fan to offset this.
You do?
Whatever, dude.
Your girlfriend's a Michigan fan.
She is.
Anyways.
Good girl.
I tell you.
What is the line on this one, and what is the total? What is the over-under?
Yeah, anything for you, Si.
Hey, would you hurry up?
Yeah, anything for you. Right now, you know what the line opened at?
What?
Yes.
I'm going to say Bama 7.5.
I'll say 6.5.
Okay, the line opened at Bama 7.5.
Ooh,
Wow.
I swear to God I didn't look at it. I
He definitely looked that up. We talked about this bit before we did it on, so he could be wrong. That's how big his attitude
Believe me,
is.
I promise you, that would never
What is it
happen.
now?
Right now, it's
5.5.
minus 9.5.
Yeah.
Alabama laying money for Alabama. The over/under is at 59.5. Money's laying on the under. Right now, no money lines. So.
Well, and it's obviously it's in Tuscaloosa. It's at Alabama. David, Ty Simpson is charging up the Heisman charts and just clutch.
Yeah.
I mean, the throws that this guy's making. I tell you, I still think the best throw he had against Missouri was that second touchdown. Where they had that glance.
That fourth and 8
hit it
ball.
in the back. The fourth and 8 ball was great.
Man.
That he threw an absolute laser in the back of the end zone as the route was breaking off. It's basically indefensible. Explain to me how Tennessee is going to stop Alabama. I just don't. I'm not seeing it. Tennessee's defense has been a letdown this year. We questioned the offense with Nico going to UCLA and Joey Aguilar coming in. The offense hasn't been the problem. Hell, it's saving their ass. I mean, but how is this Tennessee defense going to stop Alabama right now, even if Jam Miller doesn't play?
Yeah, which that's something that we need to monitor too, whether or not he plays, because that's going to get to the rushing attack that I do want to talk about. But I can't say enough about both of these quarterbacks. On one side, you got Ty Simpson, who bided his time behind Jalen Milroe, stayed at Alabama, and now he's the leader on the Heisman odds this second, playing as good as anyone in the country. The RPO game is working for him. He's so accurate downfield. There's one element I think Alabama needs to use him in a little bit more, and that's true zone read for him to be able to pick up yards.
Even if
with
it's a
his legs.
decoy.
But then on the other side of that, I mean, you got Joey Aguilar coming in for Nico Iamaleava, who quits on the team the day before the spring game, and look what he's done, being able to give Tennessee this spark in offense, has limited the turnovers like we saw at Appalachian State. So I can't say enough about this battle. You ask, how can Tennessee stop the Alabama offense? You got to do what Florida State was able to do in that opener and get after Ty Simpson. I mean, they had that 17-play drive to open the game, and it looked like, man, Alabama's just going to cruise in this game against Florida State. But then after that, they were able to make Ty Simpson's life in the pocket really uncomfortable. Tennessee has to find a way to do that. I don't know if they have the personnel to do that for an entire four-quarter game, but to me, it does start with stopping the run. You can't let Alabama run all over you and then Ty Simpson went off play action.
And look, you're right, and I think you're going to have to take chances if you're Tennessee defensively. I just don't know if you're going to be able to go out there and run base stuff and be able to stop it. Because Blaine, you give up, I'm talking about Tennessee's defense here. You give up 26 to Syracuse, 17 to East Tennessee State, 44 to Georgia, 24 to UAB, 34 to Mississippi State, 31 to Arkansas, which means that if you're going to beat Alabama, you may have to score 50.
And in those last two you mentioned, Tennessee gave up over 200 yards of rushing.
See, that's the scariest part.
And lost time of possession.
Yeah.
When you're giving up that many rushing yards, the other team's chewing the clock up, you lost time of possession. Meanwhile, what is this Alabama offense being known for so far throughout the season? Long, sustained drive, 12, 13, 14 plays. If you do that, Joey Aguilar's not going to get a lot of touches. So you have to finish in the red zone when you get a chance to score.
And Blaine, to that point, kind of flipping it a little bit, the question for this Alabama defense, at least for me, and David, you've brought this up more than anybody, and you're right, is the fits against the run game in the second and third levels. So at the linebacker and in the secondary, how they fit the run game. They did a much better job against Missouri after that first drive. The first drive, Missouri was on script, on schedule. It was hitting exactly like how it was supposed to. But then they really pretty much cut the water off, and Missouri was really good at it. But Tennessee, they want to throw it deep. That it's still, Josh Heupel wants to run it, but a lot of Tennessee's big plays, you go back to the Georgia game, was, hey, it's one-on-one, which means in my mind, you're open, Chris Brazzell. I'm going to launch this thing deep. Alabama's secondary's got some guys in it that can
and they can play with you one-on-one, especially on the outside. And I think Alabama's done a pretty damn good job since the second half of that Vanderbilt game when it comes to fitting the run. I thought Womack's adjusted well, and I thought they did really good in the Missouri game. Because Missouri is a run-dominant team most of the time. And
it's hard to fit outside zone.
Is even tougher to fit. So I think Alabama's done that well. I mean, you look at this and you approach this Tennessee offense. If it's me, the first thing I do is I'm stopping the run, right? I'm stopping the run. I'm not even getting this going. I'm going to make you one-dimensional. And if you can beat me with that one dimension, I'll tip my cap and we'll walk out of the stadium. We'll go home and talk about it another day. Mm-hmm. So I think Alabama would do that well. And also, if you're Alabama's defense, you can't give up the big plays. You can't give up the home run balls, right? And Tennessee is very good at sitting there and hitting the big plays. So you have to keep everything in front of you. I think Jackson, especially on the outside, is going to be able to play one-on-one with Brazzell. I really think he's an NFL corner, and we're going to see that. So if I'm Alabama, I'm approaching this game, I'm stopping the run, and we can't give up the big plays. Well, make Tennessee go 10, 12, 13 play drives with a long time possession and beat you, because they don't want to do that. They want to be in a hurry and they want to score quick.
This is why it comes down, can you stop the run without adding bodies to the box?
Yep.
Like that, because it's hard to sit here and say, we're going to sell out for the run and then stop the big plays. Because if I'm going to sell out for the run and I'm not going to play an even box with you, I'm going to heavy up the box, right? Or I'm going to do things that I feel like, puts our guys on islands on the outside. I think that's what Tennessee wants. Mm-hmm. I think Tennessee would live with, we're going to throw this thing up, and underthrow is not a bad play here because we'll get pass interference and move the ball down the field. I think if you're Alabama and you're Crain Womack, you come out and you don't force anything. Mm-hmm. You play even everywhere. Play even everywhere, because if you can stop the run even, Tennessee's going to get in 3rd and 7. Then you can run your 2-man. Then you can show your pre-snap pressures and get out. Then you can show your pre-snap pressures and go with it and still play umbrella coverage behind it. So I think if you're Alabama on defense, you don't need to get too cute, at least early in this game, David, to see if, hey, we go out there with an even box, we can lock them up, and then on 3rd down, give help to our guys. Again, 2-man, shade Brazzell to one side, right? Keep everything in front. To me, that's the plan if I'm Crain Womack.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. The key with these spread offenses, like what Josh Heupel wants to run and like what Rich Rodriguez ran when he came in when I was at Michigan, is it's a simple math problem based off the numbers in the box that you're talking about, especially with these wide splits that Tennessee likes to have with their wide receivers. And so if you're Alabama, make Joey Aguilar make the correct math decision every single play, like what Blaine's talking about, to go extended plays. Okay, is the box light? Let's hand this ball off, or run true zone read, or potentially RPO behind it. Are they playing with a heavy box? Okay, now I'm going to spit it out. Because like you said, the problem for Alabama on defense is, how do you get your secondary to help with those run fits that they have struggled with against a lot of these teams, but then also protect against the deep ball that Tennessee really wants to do? Alabama had success is stopping the run against Vanderbilt and Missouri because they weren't getting stretched vertically. So their secondary could help. Chris Brazzell's going to stretch you, man. Yeah, they might take a shot just to do it.
And Alabama stopped Missouri and technically Vanderbilt with an even box. So you can do the exact same thing versus Tennessee. When I say stopping the run, I'm not saying put 9 people in the box and play solos on the outside. You can stop Tennessee with an even box. The only thing that worries you when you play an even box versus a Tennessee team is Joey Aguilar keeping that thing a couple times and getting on the outside. I think Bama's secondary is good enough. If you need to put them on islands, you can put them on islands. I think Dominique Jackson is that good. He's an NFL corner. So Bama can stop Tennessee with an even box. It's not bad.
Good Ranchers is challenging families everywhere to get back to the table at least once a week, every week between now and Thanksgiving. They're even doing weekly giveaways for free holiday hams to encourage people to gather and connect with others around them at the table. Now, to enter to win, all you have to do is share a photo of your gathering every Thursday night on your Instagram story. You use the hashtag #BackToTheTable and you tag Good Ranchers. That's @Good Ranchers. And if gathering once a week feels impossible, Well, Good Ranchers can help. Their high-quality, 100% American meat is delivered to your door, pre-portioned and triple trimmed, so you spend less time prepping and more time with the people you love. We've used it for 3 years, whether you're tailgating, whether you're just grilling out at the house, whatever. Any type of food you get delivered to your door from Good Ranchers is fantastic. And here's another great deal. If you subscribe to any Good Ranchers box today and you use our code BOOSTER, that's BOOSTER, you get your pick of free meat for life. That's free meat for life. You heard that right. It's not just your first box. So hit up GoodRanchers.com. Use that code BOOSTER for $40 off plus free meat for life. GoodRanchers.com. Let's get back to the table.
That's why it's good to have played against Diego Pavia and Bo Pribula back-to-back weeks to get ready.
So, again, where Tennessee really is like, all right, it's when they get in 10 personnel and they have these wide splits and they line up, you can call it whatever you want. They line up in 10 personnel wide with the stack.
Yeah.
All right, wide with the stack. So what does that do on defense if we're going to play straight up and they're going fast? Well, you got to have 2 for 2. So it really puts a lot of stress, and depending on where your strength is, right, on these safeties because of the wide splits and the alignment. So the safeties are wider. Now you got a nickel here, right, that can go to the strength and kind of apex at what we call it, split the difference, but you're still wide. So if you're sitting there, and God, I hate drawing this backwards. It's weird as a defensive guy looking at it this way. But if you look, right, all right, so here's your alignment on defense, okay? Here it is. The safeties are pretty wide because these guys are wide. Now that box, that even box with the quarterback run, to your point, you can get a hat on a hat, right, with zone read because you have how many defenders? You have 6 defenders here. You have 5 offensive linemen and a running back. So any type of quarterback run play, you have a hat for a hat. That's Tennessee's best chance in this game. Yeah, which means you got to win all your one-on-ones, though, or somebody's got to win a one-on-one on defense, which Alabama can do. That's where LT Overton kills things. And guys like that, they absolutely kill it. So that, to me, as simple as it is, because if you're Bama, you can sit here and walk a nickel up and add an extra guy. Well, now it's 0. Yeah, that's basically what you're in. You're in 0. So it just, and look, there's ways to align pre-snap that's maybe a little bit different, but when you're going fast, you don't have time to run all this, Billy Jack BS. You got to get lined up and go play. What's the easiest way to get lined up? Run base stuff. But be better.
In that scenario with
here, I'll redraw this for you.
In that no, you can keep that. In that scenario with the 6-man box against the 10 personnel, not only does Joey Aguilar have to be a threat in the run game, he has to read those.
Yeah,
and again, if I'm Alabama, I want him to have to make the correct decision 70 times a game, right, with this math equation problem. Because in 10 personnel, first off, and especially with the wide stack splits, you don't have a tight end like you do in 11 personnel to be able to help your numbers in the run game. Yeah. You don't have a secondary halfback or a fullback to help with running split zone to help with your numbers because they're out on an island themselves, which you help gain an advantage by being able to spit out quick game, but you also lose numbers to help block in the run game.
For sure. And I think what you'll see in Tennessee does this sometimes is they'll take the tight end and put him out wide. Right, and even though it's 11 personnel.
So from a defensive perspective, this is a good question. You're in the box. You're the defensive coordinator. You're still calling that 11 personnel because he's technically
because that's what they're running out of the field.
What if it's someone like Michael Trigg at Baylor and he's just or Jimmy Graham? Remember we always had this Jimmy Graham problem. Yeah. He's essentially a wide receiver.
That's the biggest problem. It's like a guy. That's why they're the hardest to find. It's tight ends that can do both.
It's like you can call him whatever you want on the depth chart.
Can do both.
In the program, you can put TE by his name.
For sure.
But if he's a wide receiver threat, it's different.
And again, it's the alignment too, right? Because if that tight end's out wide, if it's Michael Trigg can beat me deep. I don't think Kitzelman can beat you deep. Yeah. So you'll kind of approach that a little bit differently, which is different when no tight end, when you got wide receivers because they can beat you all deep. But there's some different things you can do. But what you'll see Tennessee do as well, I think a lot in this game, is they'll put, let's say it's Kitzelman, we'll call him H, right, over here. So we'll call him H on the outside. They'll start him out here and then motion him in here to make it 11, and then you run your stuff, which means that a safety or a nickel is going to come into the box and you're still going to be even. But it's giving you that pre-snap look, to your point, David, and then making a decision. Well, hell, if my tight end's the front guy here, that's a damn good blocker against a corner because they're in tight quarters, which makes it easier to block. And that safety is a little bit further back. I'm just going to spit the now screen out here.
And if the corner's playing back, I mean, the tight end's going to go block the safety.
For sure. Well, you got to give them multiple looks out of that stack.
Unless you flip that to break tendency, which is the thing I brought up in the huddle up play with Caden Proctor at Alabama, which is the next thing I want to bring up. One of the most interesting storylines the last few weeks for Alabama, particularly on offense, is how are we getting Caden Proctor the football? They're spitting him now screens. They're lining him up at running back. And this past week, he was at Wildcat.
When does the jump pass come in?
The next obvious conclusion is, okay, when is the jump pass coming on the goal line? While it's a lot of fun for people watching the games like me, are we getting into a situation where it possibly is becoming a distraction, where we're saying, okay, now we have to get Caden Proctor the football in a fun way at the skill position versus we're calling it because it legitimately gives us the best chance on that play.
And they called it at a huge moment in the Missouri game.
Wildcat, yeah.
The game was obviously still very much in doubt. So Ryan Grubb feels like this is a weapon that he can pull out.
It keeps working.
It does keep working.
Every time they've called it, it's worked.
Sure.
From the wide receiver screen to the Wildcat. I mean, every time, at some point, why not? If you want to get a yard, and you have that thing jumping around, it can jump.
I guess my question is, how many of those plays in a row do you need to work to make up for one critical moment where he maybe fumbles?
Because
the first time that happens, everyone's going to criticize you, and you can say, well, it worked 25 times in a row for a first down.
Heavy is the crown.
The blow a little bit.
It's
worked so many times.
Heavy is the crown, but this matchup is just going to be. It's always fantastic. I just think Alabama's got a big advantage in this one, man. I won't be surprised if that thing gets bet up even more. I just don't think Tennessee can stop them. I think the Alabama total team points, I don't know what it's at right now, may be one of the best bets on the board. Yeah. I'd take it if I can get over 37.5, which if that over-under is 59.5, you said?
Yeah.
Well, last year, Alabama, they won the turnover battle and they won the time of possession battle, and they still lost 24-17 because they had 15 penalties, and they were 3 for 14 on third down. So they got to be good on third down. They got to limit the penalties. This is where being in Bryant-Denny instead of in Knoxville.
But I will say this: Tennessee, if this game turns into a shootout,
that's the only way they can win.
I think it's the only way they can outscore you. This is the same team that put up 41 against Georgia,
and I get that. And a lot of those plays were bombs over Baghdad deep.
Yeah,
that Brazel made early in the game to keep them in it. I think it has to be a type of a shootout for Tennessee to win. Because if Tennessee doesn't get to 24, they're not winning. And 24 may be low. It may be 31.
Yeah.
To be honest.
No,
I don't say that lightly.
Score at least 30 points to win this game.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let us know in the comments, what do you think? It's a massive game. Alabama hosting Tennessee. We're going to have a very special guest for our pick show on Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. And the chances of me not being already excited for this Week 8 slate, we're going. Gone.